Who do you think of when you think of the American voter? It's usually the larger group, right? Probably some older, wiser American citizens. They probably have the biggest influence since we see them on the news so much, right? But actually, the dominant American group is us, the millennials. We are going to be the largest, most diverse, most connected voting bloc. We are the most socially minded generation and the most active group of volunteers and activists. But most Americans, especially those of our own generation, don't vote. Why is that? Why do we refrain from voting? What should we do about it? Many millennials don't vote because we don't trust authority figures and have little faith that our vote will matter. We feel like we're not being heard or taken seriously. We feel this way because we often see a lot more policy that's focused on the older generations, and we feel left out or unhappy with their conduct. We actually have a lot of power in the electorate. We're powerful in numbers. We have a lot of positions that we can stand for, whether it be LGBT rights, or gun control, or healthcare, or equal rights, and so on. But if you don't vote for these things, our representatives will never know that you have an opinion. In order to get more policies that we and our age group want, we need to vote. You should register to vote. In order to be eligible to vote, you must meet certain requirements. First, you have to be a U.S. citizen. Second, you must be 18 years or older by election day. Thirdly, you cannot have any felonies, you cannot be in prison, and you cannot be on parole. Fourthly, you must be mentally competent as defined by the court. Once you figure out if you qualify, your next step is to register to vote. In California, you can pick up an application form in multiple languages at your county elections office, library, DMV, or U.S. Post Office. You can also register to vote online through the Secretary of State's website at registertovote.california.gov or on rockthevote.com. It takes on average 2 minutes to apply online. If you want a certain candidate on the ballot, you should go to the primaries. It's a preliminary election that decides the presidential candidates for each political party. It's incredibly important if you want certain candidates on the ballot on election day. California has a type of primary called a top 2 primary, where you can vote on candidate regardless of party affiliation. It will take place on Tuesday, June 7th. The deadline to register is 15 days before the primary election. Now, we'd like to briefly discuss the platforms of the top 3 candidates in each party, just to give you a little insight on what their presidencies may be like. We'll start off with the Republican Party. Marco Rubio is pro-defense and seeks to deal with foreign affairs and proactively defeat ISIS. He wants to grant citizenship to undocumented immigrants and create a 3-tiered tax code for the middle class. Donald Trump wants to reform the tax code into 2 brackets: increase response to mass gun tragedies, expand treatment programs for people with mental health issues, and wants to build a wall across the Mexican border. Ted Cruz opposes the Export-Import Bank, opposes ethanol subsidies, and wants states to have their own definition of marriage. Next, the Democratic nominees. Hillary Clinton opposes the Trans-Pacific Partnership Free Trade Agreement, opposes the Keystone XL pipeline, and wants to raise taxes on capital gains. Martin O'Malley wants stricter gun control and a national firearm registry. He opposes oil drilling permits offshore and in Alaska, and wants to expand student aid through increasing Pell Grant payment and participation in federal work-study. Bernie Sanders wants to enact a single-payer health care through Medicare for everybody, wants to make college free for all by taxing financial transactions, and wants to raise payroll, estate, and corporate income taxes. And that was only a few of the key points the current candidates are running. There's much more to learn, so what you can do as members of the next greatest generation: read online and read broadly, talk to a trusted adult or teacher, watch the news and be careful of biases, and isidewith.com is also a good resource.